Now that's sick. That's also very sick. Wait a minute. Turkey? South Korea? Where's America? This is a shooting competition, right? America gotta be dominating the scene, right? I mean, America is all about guns, guns, and guns. How can they not be dominating the scene? Well, first of all, neither are they apparently. It's not that they aren't winning any medals. They did secure some medals, but it's only silver, which is still very impressive. Winning any medals at all within the Olympics of any sport really is very impressive nonetheless. But it is still very true that within this very same competition, someone still did outperform them by at least a little bit. Then why is it the case that these two are the ones popping off on social media, not the golden medalists? I'm not saying that they shouldn't be celebrated, I'm just saying that oftentimes, the golden medalists are the ones being celebrated instead of the silver or bronze medalist. Heck, even if you just look at the Turkish shooter, Yusuf, he managed to secure a silver medal, not alone. He managed to secure it within a team competition with someone else, but he's the only one popping off on social media. I think it means that they're not really being celebrated for their performance. They're really being celebrated only for their style, which is really sick. I'm not saying that their performance was bad. If you just look at the South Korean shooter Kim Ye-ji's performance within this Paris 2024 Olympics, she managed to shot an Olympic record with her performance, which is very impressive. Now, what is also interesting about that is that very same Olympic record immediately got broken by the golden medalist, Oh Hye-jin. I think that simply cements my point that they're not really being celebrated for their performance here, they're really being celebrated for their style. They just look very cool. And honestly, if we just look at the Turkish shooter, Yusuf's choice of style, it is just something that is very easily applicable to a story or idea. The idea of someone that just finished work, got called up to perform within this shooting competition, which is literally the Olympics, and he just basically rocks up in there with his sandals, some white t-shirt with Turkey on it, and then boom, silver medal, which is very impressive. Not true, but the idea of it is really sick. But that still doesn't answer my question. Why is America not dominating the shooting competition scene? Or maybe this is just one of those cases where these two are popping off on social media, but America is actually sweeping all the medals within the shooting competitions of the Paris 2024 Olympics. Not true. I think within the medals earned, China and South Korea is still beating America by quite a bit for first and second place, which is still a lot of medals, but they're not exactly dominating the scene here. Well, if you think about it, it actually makes quite a bit of sense why America wouldn't really be interested in shooting competitions. Shooting competitions are really rigid and regulated. There's a lot of set of rules that comes along with it. Even if you just look at the South Korean shooter Kim Ye-ji's way of movement and gait, basically the exact reason why she popped off in social media in the first place, apparently, from what I've read up here, that's not exactly by choice. It's because of a set of rules that actually dictates what emotions you're allowed to show before and after shooting, for safety reasons. I mean, fair enough, right? Because they're literally holding a gun here. And it makes sense that for someone that is much more exposed to the gun culture of America here, where it is much more America here, let's say, what do you think they would feel when they are exposed to the shooting competitions that is much more regulated, much more rigid? What do you think they would feel? And in some sense there, I think the USA is actually on the back foot. Hear me out, okay? They are much more exposed to guns, but the guns they're much more exposed to are these assault rifles, those machine guns, SMGs, high caliber, all this really intense experience. What do you think they would feel towards these shooting competitions that it's much more rigid? There's a lot of rules that comes along with it. They're even just using air guns. What do you think? Think about it like what boxing is to real-life fights. Boxing is still fighting, but it's competitive fighting. There's a lot of set of rules that comes along with it. You're not even allowed to kick, you're not even allowed to punch below the belt, just some things that doesn't really make sense in a real-life fight. Meanwhile, the gun culture of America is much more accustomed to something that is more akin to the real-life fights rather than the boxing stuff. However, similar to boxing is still very much popular despite being different. If anything, boxing is probably way more popular than real life fights. Which is why I think America is still quite interested in shooting competitions. Within this very same Paris 2024 Olympics, they did still win some medals, some gold even. What is interesting though, guess which event America managed to struck gold in? It's skeet shooting, which is basically clay shooting, where the competitor is basically thrown a clay target and they have to shoot it real quick. You know, it's one of those events where you actually need a huge open area to practice, and it's one of those events where it would actually benefit you to actually own your own guns so you can practice within your own spare time. Hey, I'm not saying that it's not impressive, okay? I'm just saying that it's really funny to me when I first found this out. Of course, America got gold in skeet shooting, of course. So, America, stop shooting in the block, mate. Start shooting at the block of targets. I don't know, okay? Rhyming is hard, whatever. I just found these things quite interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Go like, subscribe, share, whatever if you want, and bye bye. Have a great rest of your day.